Welcome guys, and top ippons from Tel Aviv Grand Slam. First up we've got Becca from Georgia. Amazing makikomi here. Just jumps right in. Brilliant ippon. Next up we've got a huge ogoshi from the Indian judoka. Doesn't get much bigger than that. So big arm around the back. Once he gets the sleeve, goes straight in. Huge rotation. One of my favorites from the tournament here. A nice Tani Otoshi. Seeing it a bit more these days. The Turkish team likes to do it a lot, but you're seeing other people adopt it as well. Good technique. Kochi makikomi now. And I love his placement of his right leg just behind the ankle. So he really gets that drive going. Nice from the Turkish judoka. And here we have a big uranage. So it's really technical uranage, a two-step, as he turns one direction and then changes to get the lift. Tai Otoshi now from the Brazilian, as he takes multiple stabs at it. Finally gets it. Foot sweep to get things moving. Then a Uchimata Ouchigari fake, another Uchimata, and then posts a leg on the outside. Nice Tai Otoshi. Nice little bit of newaza here. Not your typical bow and arrow choke. I think it has a different name, but I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments. A bit of tewaza now. So as he goes in for the ouchigari, his elbow's a bit too high. The judoka in the blue takes advantage of it. Huge ashiguruma now. On the big judoka from the Azerbaijan. The Israeli does well to get moving and go in the right direction. Now, is this a kosoto or is it a kosoto gake? I'm not sure if it's on the opposite leg. Can we have a look at it one more time? So let me know what you think this technique is called in the comments. Here we have a big ippon seoi nage by the American. So cutting the corner as he pulls him over. And beautiful counter here by the Georgian. Great uchimata. Picks him up, hand on the belt. So it's hard to stop this. Big uchimata. And this is great. This is a good lesson. Always go twice. You know, if you've got your grips but it doesn't work the first time, it's a good idea to have another go and you might get it. Always a good counter this one to the bear hug. Nice rotating ouchigari. So if you've got the underhook, it's quite easy to do. And here we see the gold medalist, Coral, with his big Sore Surikomi Goshi. What Coral does really well is his hip placement. He gets really deep in there and then drives up. Right, next we've got a compilation of all the sasais that were in the Tel Aviv Grand Slam. So a lovely one here at the lightweights. But the next one is at the heavier weights. And this was deep into golden score. Big sasai there. And Gesimov, this is one of his Tokui waza. High grip around the tricep. And this match went for 15 minutes, so he's happy to get that one over. Here's a quick one. So very quick to change direction. Doesn't get much better than this. And here we have from Shirazishvili. Fakes the Osoto and then turns it into a sasai. Moving on, we've got a ouchigari. Goes one way and then turns it to the left. So it pushes right initially, but then changes direction. It's always a good way to do it. Really big kosoto now. Gets really deep with that leg. Able to get a lot of lift. See how he comes through right across. Almost knee to knee. Great work there. Another kosoto now, but this time with the grip over the side. So he's able to push down on the head, create leverage, and pull him down onto that side where the leg is. Really great technique here. Arm up around the back of the shoulder as well. Now here we have the gold medalist, Gaitero from Spain. And he had a really good day, showing some lovely powerful judo. Big pickup here to get the ippon. Big tomoe nage coming up with some spinning action. Gotta love these ones. So half the reason for all this spinning is the Kyrgyzstan fighter's trying to escape, but too much control. And here we see Basili with his amazing Kosotogake. So he's got the cross grip, which gives him the option to go over the top. And just times it well. And Boltabayev now, who had a strong day getting the gold medal, stays strong and upright and just waits for the right opportunity to go in for his counter. So here he is now, he's trying to pick DeWitt up, and once he does, goes in for the Ouchigari. Beautiful. And a nice running Ouchigari here. Flies over the top of him at the end. Really wants to make sure he gets the ippon. And here is something you don't see very often. A Seoi Nage to a Ura Nage. Beautiful there. So this is a good reason why you should get up after Seoi Nage attempts. Lots of people just drop down, wait for a mate. They might get a Shiro. So it's good to stand up sometimes. And here we have a good example of what to do against a taller opponent. Left fist right, arm underneath, and then he's going to attack the face under the chin. Driving also to there, and then turns it into a Haraegoshi. So another big Uranage here. Turning with him, hand on the belt, leg under the thigh. Good work. Shirozashvili again. And I really like this Kosotogake. He kind of pulls it into him instead of going towards his opponent. And the grip around the back of the collar, it's good as well. So really latching onto that leg, really interesting. So the blue fighter here, he gets penalized with bridging. But in my opinion, it looks like a nice Uchimata Tsukashi. The Australian, previous Japanese player, does well to get that leg up and then rotate him over. So call that an ippon for white. Next up, an Osotogari, but loses the top grip. He's kind of got it around the back, so his opponent's going to duck under, but manages to put all his pressure on that arm. Kinds of turn it into a makikomi. Great control there. Here we have Mamosov and his Tokui Waza. Nice Sumigaishi. So he manages to go down, but it looks like the Kazakhstani fighter is going to defend it. But he just keeps pushing with those legs and gets the drive. Full control. Gaitaro again, but this time a Sore Surikomi Goshi. So once he gets that grip, he goes straight in, feeds it to his other hand. And that would be an illegal grip if he held onto it, but straight attack, so that's okay. Now I don't like this from the Kazakhstani fighter, but he gets ippon anyway. I really don't like turning your head in that direction when you go down for an Uchimata. I really think you should just place your head straight to the mat. Save some neck injuries maybe later on. But an ippon nonetheless. The Italian fighter now with a quick piece of newaza. And white is tapping immediately. So as he goes down for a Seoi Nage, he's quick to jump on that leg, and he's already got the grip around the neck. Just needs to adjust his foot position. Nice choke there. And here we have Saeed Malai with his trademark foot sweeps that just seem to be getting better and better. Scoring ippon here. Doesn't have the best sleeve grip. It's kind of around the bicep, but gets it anyway. And another piece of newaza here. So the Russian goes in twice for Uchimata. Scores Wazari, but doesn't stop there. Pulls guard. And then locks up the arm over the head and gets the armbar. So domination by the Russian there. And this is when Sagimuki was put out in the second round, I believe. A brilliant Uchimata, just kind of faking it and then goes in. And Muki takes the grip around the back. It's a great upset, great Uchimata. Next up, we've got a big Seoi Nage. So he kind of loads up twice. Here he kind of stops, goes back down again. And great drive to get that. Someone in the comments told me this next one is the rarest foot sweep in the game. Tsubame Gaishi is what it's called apparently. So it's a counter to a foot sweep. And quick thinking to get that done. Amazing foot sweep there. Same judoka now, Randall. And he gets a nice little osoto here on the one side. So just putting all that weight on his opponent's left leg as he tries to break the grip, goes in there. Good job. And another piece of newaza here from the Italian. So ducks under there, and as soon as he latches onto that leg, he's tapping. This is Mongai, I think, the Italian. He had a good match against Baker. But just really good awareness here of what he's doing with his feet and what he needs to secure the choke. Brilliant piece of newaza there. Right, here we have the Turkish fighter. And gets a nice Uchimata. Just stabbing in once and then goes again. He's already got the foot placement, so why not? Next one is really interesting. Kind of gets a kochigari, but turns it into a bit of tewaza. So you can see the inside foot sweep just kind of starts the reaction and then controls the upper body. And similar here, but this time in the reverse. Controls the upper body first and then attacks the inside foot sweep. Now I don't like where White's arm is during this whole process, but Sumigaishi nonetheless. Great control at the end there to score the ippon. Goes in for an Uchimata first, of course, but changes direction. Great control. Next up in the heavyweights, we've got a lovely foot sweep. So this is why it's important to take 2 stabs at your foot sweeps. Usually the first one doesn't do enough, but the second one might. And a Kochi Makikomi at the heavyweights. Bashaev, the Russian, he had a great Uranage before, has a great Seoi Nage as well. So it's good to see him at the heavyweights. Another heavyweight ippon here, they had a really good day. And how often do you see a drop Seoi Nage from a heavyweight? So he's looking for a Sode, but then he can't get it, so he starts pulling on the other side, and then as he's got 2 hands on the one side, just drops in for a nice Seoi Nage. Back down to the lighter weights now, as we see a lovely Uchimata. Kind of stabs in with a Taiotoshi, not doing much, but uses that to turn it into an Uchimata. And some more newaza, for all those people who love newaza. This is just a great rollover, great transition. Don't blink or you'll miss this one. Fastest Taiotoshi in the West. So he goes over, looks for the armbar as well, but doesn't need it. He's already scored ippon by then. So fast. And here we see a lovely bit of newaza. And the Olympic champion, he does well to kind of defend. Rolls over here, but the Israeli, great awareness to go in the right direction, scores a choke. Double lapel grip now, showing him the other direction, and turns in for an Ochigari, and then scores a wonderful armbar. Nice transition there. Next up, a nice Kosoto, but a running Kosoto. I mean, you don't have to be very technical, you just have to create movement. Similar example in this next one. As long as the opponent's going backwards, there's going to be opportunities. And just couldn't deal with that downwards pressure from the Ochigari. Great ippon. Next up, the gold medalist. I think his name is Raisu. But a great Kosoto Gake there. Not a bear hug because he had that hand around the back to begin with. But just very opportune judo here. Waits for him to get up and then attacks immediately. Beautiful ippon. Next up, White. As Blue breaks the grip, he goes in for a Kataguruma. Really good timing. So you see Blue here, he's not happy with that grip, breaks it off. But that doesn't worry White, he's going in. Amazing Kataguruma. And not sure what to call this. Kosoto Gari maybe. But does well as he goes down for newaza. He picks him up. Foot sweep for good measure. We're not going into newaza yet, my friend. And Esposito, he had a great day. Beautiful Ochigari, similar to Basili. This is kind of the Italian Ochigari, I think. Anyway guys, that's it from me. Thanks for subscribing to the channel and liking the video. I'll see you in the next one.